Yo, Pandudes, Peter Von Panda here. Hey, want to show you another cheap watch. Just got it. It's my first look. This is the Broadfashion Cool Men's Racer Military Pilot Aviator Army Silicone Sports Watch. This thing is under $5, or it was at least for me at the time of this video. I'm trying to pull out the little sleeve here so we can get this show on the road. There we go. Punch that in. Let's see if the sucker runs. You know, battery's in it. It's running. Took a little while to get, as many watches that are super cheap come from overseas a lot. It's got a little bit of aviator style, I suppose. It's very black, as you can see, silicone, very soft watch band, and there's a little real orange stitching that goes down the side. I like that. I love contrasting colors, kind of like stitching, contrasting colored stitching in cars or piping. It's cool. It's a nice accent. Pretty loose, these retaining loops here, especially in silicone, just kind of tend to fall off a lot as they are here. Sometimes they tend to be a little harder plastic, but especially when you don't have like a Panerai style buckle that flares out up here, it's not a lot to keep them retained. Perforated leather, but it's kind of a faux perforated because they have holes on the top, but then they don't go all the way through. And in fact, talking about things not going all the way through, the watch band holes aren't completely punched out. Now, my experience on inexpensive watches is that when you get the tang here, you can kind of push right through them. And in fact, the rubber is stretching there. Let me get it to focus on there. And then it'll bang on through there. So just part of the nature of it. If it really annoys you to have to do this, well, don't get the watch and spend hundreds of dollars more on a different watch. But especially if you find the hole that you want, you might have to take care of that. Now, if you have a really sharp X-Acto knife, you can probably get in there and cut those things out, but it's kind of hardly a deal killer at this price point. Nothing on the back. It doesn't say anything clearly. Quartz movement, just like a stainless steel, maybe even aluminum, stainless steel flat plate there on the back. All right, let's talk about the case a little bit. Looks kind of like a painted or a powder coat finish on the case. You can see a little bit of, how would you say it? Kind of pitting the casting of the case. It's not super smooth. Probably wouldn't expect it to be. The finish seems pretty durable. I mean, I haven't really taken a hammer to it or anything. But I'm not sure if it's just painted or, like I said, it kind of has a little bit of that shiny powder coat like look to it. And then color-filled minutes on the outer bezel, which does not rotate, and then just kind of a standard glass crystal on there. Now, as many watches, fashion watches in this price point, this is not a chronograph. Even though there are 3 complications, subdials in there, they don't do anything. They look pretty real. There's a little bit of texture, which is just kind of, could just be ink printed in circles there, but then, silver faux hands. And in fact, these pushers don't even fake go in and out. They're just hard molded in there. Maybe a little hard to see, but they're just kind of cast into the body. So nothing about them that you would trick anyone. And then a very simple crown there that snaps in, no screw down or anything. It says GT Grand Touring, which is what GT stands for, but I think it's more common to use the Italian Gran Turismo, if you're going to call things GT. The hour markers are silver with a little bit of white paint in there. The red, there are kind of red. I call them kind of like a burnt cyan kind of color, like that real deep red, southwestern dirt is the color of the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11. It's not a perfect match for the kind of the more traditional orange of the thread. But, you know, it is what it is. It's kind of a little bit more pleasing to my eye when you have a thread color here that really matches something in here. Maybe it's the color of the bezel or the color of the hands or whatever. Not a super great match, but, from a few feet away, just it has some style. It's kind of a little bit more badass. I kind of like this. You could wear this, bang it up. It's not a huge watch. It's about 45 millimeters, so it's pretty big. A lot of you will say, well, that's even too big for me. The case thickness is about 1 centimeter, so it's about 10 millimeters. I'm looking right here. I would say it's not powder coated. I would say it's clearly paint. And in fact, I don't know, because it's already chipped there. Seeing if I can get this pen to scrape off some more. Yeah, I can scrape it off. And then it looks like, doesn't even look like stainless steel under there. It looks like maybe it's just more of an alloy of some sort. Probably a cheap alloy. It's not super heavy. There's a Japanese quartz movement in there. Ticking secondhand red. And kind of some flat silver main hands. Oh, it says Japanese movement right there, JD328. So, a nice looking watch. I'll throw the sucker on. Have to punch a hole in one of these watch band holes to get it to stay on there. But if you wanted just a knock around sports watch, something that looks a little more classy than like wearing a straight up tactical G-Shock or something like that, I think this might do the trick. At this price point too, it's not bad. Again, I have a fairly large wrist. I mean, it doesn't look very large. You know what they say about guys with large wrists. About a 7.5-inch wrist. Try to clean off the dial. I think it looks pretty good. If I were in a t-shirt and cargo shorts, going out to hang out with my boys, I could wear this. Certainly nothing embarrassing about it. Except for maybe the chipped paint there on the end. But that's how it works. That's life with a cheap watch. But check it out. $5. You're looking for a sports watch to knock around. This cool men's racer, military pilot, aviator, Army Silicone sports watch might do the trick. Peter Von Panda. Out.